Hi everyone. I want to go over the thinking processes that you'll be going through when you're doing assignment 2, writing up your interview that you've done around assessment and evaluation with your mentor teacher or with a teacher. When you look at the rubric, I've divided it into steps 1, 2, 3, and then step 4 is proofreading. So when we look at introducing step 1, your mentor teacher, please honor them in their bio by looking at who they are, what they do, when they do it, where and why. Why would be, why did you ask them to help you with this? Where would be perhaps where they've been in their career. Other questions that you can answer there. It just gives you an idea of how to write up your bio, making sure you introduce them, and feel free to share the bio with them or have them write it, which would be helpful as well. Step 2, and I've put step 2 here to show you that it can also be, you can integrate the listening skills and follow-up questions with your summary, and I'll show you how you might want to do that. It's up to you. This is where you're analyzing the answers about assessment and evaluation. So a lot of you have written out what was given to you as answers to the questions you asked, which were all extremely good questions about assessment and evaluation. So now you want to analyze them. And a good way to analyze them is the same way you teach students to do main ideas. You want to pick up, as you mentioned here, 5 main ideas that came out of your interview questions as you're looking at the patterns, and then making sure you have evidence from what the mentor teacher said about assessment and evaluation to back up the main ideas you said that you heard through the interview. So if you want to include the listening skills and follow-up questions in that summary, you could do it in a couple of ways. As we think about the 5 ideas, we could talk about the questions we added on the spot to probe the answers so we could really understand what was one of the main ideas. Or we can include the part in our conclusion, which we'll be going on to next, when we think about how we want to apply what we learned. You can think about how you had to probe a certain theme that the mentor teacher was talking about in assessment and evaluation in order for you to understand it. Or you can just add the listening skills and the follow-up questions where you think they would best fit in your write-up, and it's your choice. So going to step 3, once you have analyzed what was said, broke it all apart with 5 main ideas that you saw, then you're going to look at the conclusions, and that's where you're going to synthesize it, the summary, and put it back together with 3 points. You want to talk about 3 ways and describe them on how you will apply assessment and evaluation, or the information you got about assessment and evaluation into your own practice in the future. And then the last part, the organization part, you'll notice that it's talking about clarity, organization, depth of analysis, and synthesis of your learning. And that depth of analysis and synthesis is your thinking as you went through the depth of your thinking. You're going to be looking and proofreading for those in your final summary. And you'll be able to share that with your peers in the classroom so they can see what your thinking has been about as well. That's why we involve sharing and getting feedback from our peers in our class before we hand in an assignment. I hope this is helpful. All the best. Take care.